Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Neighbor Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena. Welcome to all members, friends, and guests. My name is Lynn Miyamoto, and I am pleased to serve as your worship associate. Neighborhood Church creates and grows an inclusive community of faith connected by love, spirit, and service. We acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Gabrielina Tongva peoples, the traditional caretakers of the lands and waters of this campus. With respect for the rights and wisdom of the indigenous people, we acknowledge our harmful colonial histories and commit to decolonizing our own practices, to learning new ways of being in community with each other and with the land itself. Today's service is led by our guest, Nicholas D'Augusto, music director Dr. Zenaida Robles, lead bass section leader Adrian Bunuelos, and guest pianist Catherine Ames. A little bit about Nicholas. Nicholas is a UU seminarian at Meadville Lombard Theological School, set to graduate with a Master's of Divinity degree in May of 2026. Yes! He currently serves as the intern minister at Throop UU Church in Pasadena, California. He has also been a professional TV film actor for over 20 years. His podcast, God and Other Delicacies, G-O-D, begins with a question: how and when were you introduced to the idea of God in your life? And follows the guest's journey from there. A longtime LA resident that was born in Omaha, Nebraska, Nicholas lives in North Hollywood with his wife, son, and dog. So welcome, Nicholas, and thank you for being here today. Please take a moment to silence your devices as we begin our service. Families with young children are always welcome in the sanctuary, and there is additional seating in the entry four-way of the narthex. So I have one brief announcement. Chalice circles are forming now, and you can sign up today. These small groups will meet monthly over the course of the church year to create shared spaces for spiritual formation. Get more information on the patio tables today and over the next few weeks after the services. But right now, we have Chris Arnold, who will give us a testimonial and talk a little bit about the Chalice Circle. Chris?
I didn't realize I was going to be first up here. Get out my little speech. So my name is Chris Arnold. I've been a member of Chalice Circle here at Neighborhood for at least 15 years, and a facilitator and a member of the Chalice Circle Oversight Committee for about 10 years, maybe more. I don't really remember when I first came to Neighborhood, but I do remember what I was looking for when I came here. It wasn't that I had suddenly gotten religion. It was that after spending 20 rewarding years in the film business, I discovered that there was something big missing in my life. Something that I knew had once been very important to me, and that somehow, somewhere in all the career hustle bustle, I had left behind. It was the time spent in thought and contemplation of big ideas, concepts that were deeper than the latest film grosses and who was enjoying their 15 minutes of fame in Hollywood. I missed the time spent in conversations with others about meaningful ideas and thoughts, strangers who would become friends through the bonds that developed around our shared discussions and discoveries. I didn't find that when I first walked in the door at Neighborhood. I didn't find it until I joined a Chalice Circle. In some UU parishes, they are known as small group ministries. In others, they are known as covenant groups or spiritual exploration groups. Here at Neighborhood, we decided to call them Chalice Circles. Chalice Circles may not be for everyone. It takes a certain curiosity and a firm commitment. A commitment to the other members of your group to show up regularly at monthly meetings. A Chalice Circle doesn't work when people aren't serious about attendance. A commitment to be open and forthcoming with your thoughts and feelings and to observe strict confidentiality when it comes to the thoughts and feelings shared by others. A commitment to regard differences of opinions as a source of learning rather than division, and to support each other through hardship and sorrow, and to tackle the hard questions and not be satisfied by easy answers. Each month there is a different topic. Some of this year's topics are cultivating compassion, choosing hope, practicing resistance, paying attention, awakening curiosity. We meet monthly from September to May or June at different days and times, mostly on campus, but also on Zoom. There's even a group at Villa Gardens. For those who want to try it before they commit, we have a drop-in circle that meets on the first Sunday of every month in the neighborhood house library right after our service. Being a member of Chalice Circles is a gift. It's a gift you can give yourself because, frankly, you deserve it. All you need to do is to find a group that works with your schedule and sign up. Visit the sign-up table on the patio today, or sign up online at Neighborhood UU website and look for Adult Spiritual Exploration for Chalice Circles, and click on the link that you find there. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Our order of service this morning is available as a link in the Sunday email and online by scanning the QR code on the back of your hymnal or with your phone camera. Again, welcome to Neighborhood Church, whoever you are and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. Welcome to this inclusive faith community connected by love, spirit, and service.
Upon its lighting, may this flame be a beacon, calling forth our inmost selves to honor the otherness around us, calling forth our souls to sense transcendence in every living moment. We emerged within a universe whose urge is diversity, where no one being knows the other as itself. Our planet is a playground of revelation and mystery. It is all around us. We need only seek it.
Our opening hymn is number 1010 in your teal hymnals. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing We Give Thanks. We will sing it twice.
Each Sunday, our congregation dedicates 100% of contributions to 501c3 organization or neighborhood church-based social justice activities that are making a difference in our world and community. You can donate in one of two ways. You can use your cell phone to donate by texting the number on the screen. Or if you prefer to donate in person, put your donation in one of the designated boxes during the music or after the service. There is a donation box here in the front, and one, the narthex entry table in the back, and one behind the back center row. You may rise during the music to put your donation in the box if you wish. Please extend help to those in your neighborhood who may need assistance reaching the donation boxes. If you wish to make a payment towards your pledge or contribute to church operations, make a note in the subject line or use an envelope available at the donation boxes. This week, our gifts will support Friends of the Children Los Angeles. Here with more information is Denali Delgado, External Relations Manager.
Hi everybody, can you hear me okay? Yes, okay. Hi, my name is Delani. I am so grateful to be welcomed into your sanctuary this morning. On behalf of Friends of the Children Los Angeles, I'm really pleased to be speaking as part of the Share the Plate program. I'm nervous, so forgive me as I look at my notes. But hopefully you will enjoy what I have to say. My journey in this organization started 5 years ago when I was hired as a mentor. Every week, I visited 8 little girls to provide them each with consistent one-on-one support and guidance. We'd spend many an outings visiting playgrounds after park, doing enrichment activities on a picnic blanket, wherever she would want to stop over. We'd spend our outings practicing their sight words in the library, and sometimes, if they had been diligent in school or had achieved a goal they set for themselves, I'd treat them to a movie, and a big old popcorn and whatever candy they wanted. We laughed, we played, but more than anything, we built trust. One of the kids who truly stand out in my memory was a little girl who spent the first few years of her life in foster care while her dad passionately fought for her in the family court system. When I met her, she was adjusting to life in a brand new school, was living with her elderly grandparents, and was still learning who would stick around long enough in her life that she could bond with. Over time, I became a safe place where she could share big feelings that didn't always have a space to be expressed at home or at school. As seasons passed, her confidence blossomed. Her grades climbed. She reconnected with her father, and today she is completely reunified with him, surrounded by love, stability, and lots of football paraphernalia, because the guy's a big NFL guy. But that's the heart of what we want to accomplish at Friends of the Children Los Angeles. We match children facing tremendous challenges early in life with a full-time professional mentor called a friend who stays by their side for 12 plus years, no matter what. Through every transition, every setback, and every success, we are there. We are there when it's hard, when it's joyful, and all the moments in between. It feels natural to be standing here today because our values overlap deeply with yours, as I've come to learn. You commit to justice, equity, and compassion, and so do we, by standing in the gap where systems have failed and showing up week after week, year after year. You value community, service, interdependence, and love, and that's the core of long-term mentorship, building relationships that transform lives, families, and futures. Thank you for putting children first with us today, for believing in their futures, and for living your values in action. The existence of your congregation makes this world a little kinder, a little more just, and a whole lot more hopeful. So, thank you.
Thank you for giving generously.
Good morning. This piece of music is called What's a Science Limerick by Devin Carroll, who some of you may know. He's not with us today. I think he's watching online. But his son Simon is here. And here it is. Darwin asked Grandpa, how do you suppose in nature a daisy turns into a rose? He sailed on the Beagle and rode a seagull to ask the cute finches on Galapagos. Galileo avowed in a note to the Pope, the things that I see in my new telescope prove the Earth is the one that goes round the sun. You'll find there's enough to persuade you, I hope. The secrets of radioactivity were opened to science by Madame Curie. Marie was recorded, first woman awarded the top Nobel Prize in chemistry. Said led Einstein at Princeton to his physics class. Space is compressed by our own sun's great mass. So even a photon with no weight to float on will bend round the sun as it makes a quick pass.
How fun. Hi, everyone. As Lynn already said, my name is Nick D'Augusto, and I have been a member here, although I haven't been here in a while because I've been serving as an intern over at Troop. But it's really nice to see so many familiar faces and to be back, and everything looks beautiful. It's so nice to see everything again, and everything continues to look gorgeous, and even better than it was last time I was here. And I want to thank, of course, Reverend Omega for having me. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a white, cishet, endosex male. I'm endosex because I'm not intersex. And I'm 6'1", slender, and I have brown hair and brown eyes. Respectfully acknowledging our differences is how we move deeper into relationship with one another. It helps us be mindful that we all have our own unique way of receiving the world. Our reading today will be excerpts from the book I and Thou by the Jewish theologian Martin Buber. And it has a meditative quality to it, so please, if you will, relax into it with me. The world is not an object, but a continuous dialogue. The world is not formed of things, but of encounters. The world is not an illusion, but a revelation. To stand in relation to the world is not to stand with our back to it, but to stand facing it in active, open position. Only when we stand in direct relation to the world, in a living, spiritual relation, do we truly exist. The meeting of human beings is of the most vital significance for personal experience. Spirit is not in the I, but between I and thou. All real living is meeting. Humans wish to be confirmed in their being by other humans, and they wish to have a presence in the being of the other. Secretly and bashfully, they watch for a yes, which allows them to be, and which can come to them only from one human person to another.
This next song is called Maya, named after the goddess of illusion. This is a meditation on moments of enlightenment, just aha moments. And you'll hear from the intro how sometimes we can get like two in our heads and there's too much to think about and we gotta sort things out, or we're confused about something. But that's the intro, and then you'll see how the harmonies start to clear up and kind of make sense. And hopefully you can hear that. But here's Maya. consciousness found, I am found. Ah, once was blind, now it's all colors. I see all colors. Maya's has lifted, clarity is gifted. Save it, manipulate it, emulate it. Maya's veil has lifted, clarity is gifted. Save it, manipulate it, emulate it. Maya's gone, consciousness found, I am found. Once was blind, now it's all colors. I see all colors. Maya's gone, consciousness found, I am found. Once was blind, now it's all colors. I see all colors.
Wonderful, Adrian. Thank you. We Unitarian Universalists are inheritors of two simultaneously bold and humble liberal Protestant Christian religious traditions. Unitarians and Universalists merged together in 1961, pledging to be a living tradition, a faith that incorporates new ideas and that can evolve over time. Our ancestors were radical, and the heart of our institution still beats to their radical search for truth and meaning. We like that radical part, but it's easy to forget about that Christian part I started with. What do we do with Jesus? What new and generative meaning does Jesus offer us in our modern day, over 2,000 years after he entered the human story? It's obvious the importance of Jesus in our Euro-Western history and Christianity in our American culture. We know the way certain conservative versions of Christianity, promoting values very different from our own, have come to influence the governance of our nation. Many of us are grieving this, even as we suffer fresh affronts daily. I am still adjusting to the gravity of it. It often still seems so incomprehensible. And so as American UUs, we hold that Christian nationalism in one hand and the radical Christian rationalism of our past in the other. And we try to make sense of it. Can we? Or has Christianity passed the point of no return for most of us UUs? And if so, what about the rest of us who think that maybe it hasn't? That just because people are getting it wrong doesn't mean the core of it has lost its meaning. Do we have space for Christianity in our UU theology? Do we have a future without it? In the 20th century, broad communities of European and North American cultures released themselves from the most strict dogmatism of their ancient religious theologies. And this shift fostered new conceptions of what theology could be. Something we participate in as UUs without maybe even knowing it is the practice of constructive theology. Constructive theology asks, how do we free up our ancient theological symbols? And Jesus is, at the very least, a powerful symbol, so that they enlarge us rather than restrict us. How do we use symbols to expand our concepts of the divine and construct new frameworks of meaning, welcoming new connections rather than rejecting difference? For UUs, theology isn't dogma. For us, theology is a diverse multitude of rituals, practices, and beliefs that can imbue our daily lives with a heightened sense of meaning-making value. And we encourage each of us to independently discover how to construct this meaning in our own lives and our world. When we are able to free ourselves from the fear of diverging from dogma, space opens up for us to begin forming new relationships to the ancient symbols that have been passed down to us. We no longer need to reject the symbols in order to live outside of the dogma. As my constructive theology professor, Dr. Mike Hogue, stated, this opens us up to the joy and pleasure of theological inquiry. It opens us up to life-giving, infinite theological play. I believe all of the world's ancient traditions hold value. Why wouldn't we want to celebrate and keep alive the ancient stories that evolved along with us and gave meaning to our ancestors? Humans are 2 million years old. We sapiens are 300,000 years old. The earliest forms of writing are only about 5,000 years old. Think of the oral history that preceded these stories being written down. Our ancient theologies are a revelation of the way we have experienced the divine or God in our lives over time. They are an expression of the joy, wonder, grief, agony, pain, fury, and hope of our lived experience. One of the reasons I found myself back in a religious institution with such focus and determination was that I felt a sense of loss in not knowing how to authentically honor the immense love I felt for the world around me, not unlike what Chris was talking about earlier. Also, I came out of Hollywood, so something about that. I have felt since I was a little boy that our world and our universe is a divine space, and that every day I am surrounded by mystery, mysteries which range from questions about others to questions about our universe. Think for a moment. Our universe has boundaries in some sense, but we have, at best, a vague idea of what they are, no idea why they exist, and no idea why there is a universe at all, or if there are infinitely more of them. What an electric area of thought! And although the ancient traditions address these concepts in many beautiful and eloquent ways, ever since I was a young man, I have felt confined by religion alone. Constructive theology merges philosophy and theology and other sciences into new meaning-making possibilities. Myra Rivera, a Christian constructive theologian out of Harvard, in her book, The Touch of Transcendence, works to redeem an ancient theological concept that resonates with me, the idea of divine transcendence. She writes, "Transcendence signifies that which is beyond normal physical experience, apart, above, unlimited by materiality. So traditionally speaking, God is transcendent and above. Materiality is this, us, the physical, living world." She continues, "For decades, progressive theologians have objected to the validation of hierarchical rule that attends such a concept of the deity. And why do they do that? Because hierarchy seems to minimize our human value. And seeing divine transcendence as above us has, at times, distracted us from dealing with our social inequities here on earth. It can get us to focus too much on the next life, rather than this life. Instead, Rivera asserts that God is irreducibly other, always beyond our grasp, but not beyond our touch. She wants to remobilize the passion and the wisdom of a Christian love for the inapproachably divine other as theological resources for rethinking a relationship with human others. It is a vision of transcendence within creation and between creatures, a relational transcendence. Transcendence between us, discoverable through our otherness. I can't talk about the whole book, right? But I want to talk about two more concepts in it. What does her version of transcendence have to say about injustice? Rivera writes, "Our aim to open ourselves to transcendence in the face of the other leads us to give special attention to our relationships with those who are marginalized in our communities or simply excluded from them. Not because we define transcendence as socio-political exclusion, but because we recognize exclusion as an effect of having ignored the transcendence of the other." So here's what she's saying. We don't want to claim that helping the poor and oppressed is a more special or transcendent relationship than any other, right? We don't want to encourage the thought that poverty is inherently valuable. We should work to eradicate oppression. Poverty isn't good. But we are called to give special attention to injustice because witnessing that another being is suffering is recognition that we are failing to honor all beings as divine and inherently worthy of transcendent value. We work for others because transcendence is in the other. She also talks about the Trinity, another indication of her Christian frame. The traditional Trinity is Father, Son, Holy Ghost, God, Jesus, Spirit. Rivera speaks about it as self, other, and the elusive third, which could be a mother's womb, the planet, the cosmos, or could be God. She does this so that we can both celebrate transcendence as tangible, it's you and me meeting each other, as well as celebrate the limitlessness of the cosmos. which surrounds us and holds us in some divine, mysterious superstructure, the elusive third. And this jives with us UUs, right? I mean, first, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of each and every human being. And second, we believe in the interdependence of all creation, of which we are a part. Another quote from my professor, Dr. Hogue. I've always said Unitarians misunderstand the Trinity as a math problem when instead it's an example of everything you're freaking talking about. Although he did not use freaking as the F word. And he didn't do these big Italian gestures like this. In moments of crisis and chaos, it helps me to turn to the eternal and to the way our ancient ancestors bore witness to the eternal. To enmesh ourselves with the eternal is not an act of acquiescence in the face of overwhelming worldly odds. It is an act of self-empowerment, a self-loving action to bolster our hearts and our souls with the knowledge that there is a meaning to our lives that transcends the mechanistic rhythms of our everyday. Let your presence here be transcendent. Let your presence be an expression of how you bear witness to the transcendence in your unique self and the singular otherness of each and every person around you. And then carry it with you, so that on a bad day, when the world screams at you that it is ugly and rotten, your response in your mind and your heart is, you're wrong. I know the real you. You are a revelation and a wondrous mystery. Amen and blessed be.
I'd like to thank Dr. Catherine Eames for being with us these last 2 weeks. Will you give her a hand and help me thank her? Our closing hymn is number 1057. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing Go Lift It Up. We will sing it twice.
Please, if you feel comfortable, take a hand or a shoulder of someone near you or reach out to someone across the seats. The flame from our chalice is extinguished. Its light lives on in each of us, the flames binding our community as they empower us to reach toward justice. Go. Live into yourself, and by doing so, inspire others to do the same. Amen, and blessed be.